DraftKings Daily Trot. I'm Jason Gilbo, JGilbo11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J. Clay. Taking a look at tonight's 14-game slate, which does feature some friendly pitching and also a Coors game that I know you and I are both very high on in terms of one team.
Yeah, and we got some goofy pricing too. So this is a fun slate overall. Nice little precursor to football here.
Yeah, it definitely is. Brewers and Pirates, first one here, Jameson Taillon versus Junior Guerra. In terms of the Brewers bats, they're not as expensive as they were over on FanDuel. In terms of upside, though, I still think it's pretty limited, just away from their home park. It's in PNC. I'm still not really looking to use them. I mean, Jonathan Villar might be the only one I'll take a stab at.
Yeah, Jonathan Villar is okay, but overall, I mean, I like Taillon tonight, so I can't envision myself getting much Brewers exposure with all the Taillon exposure I'm gonna have.
Yeah, no, I definitely see myself with quite a bit of his price. And on the Pirate side, I mean, I'm not really looking to use these guys. I mean, McCutchen, Bell, Harrison are very cheap. But Guerra really hasn't been a guy who brings a ton of upside to guys in that ballpark. I mean, you're probably just banking on him more just maybe not being healthy or maybe being a little bit rusty from his first return back.
And you know what? I'm much more comfortable fading them here than FanDuel because Gregory Polanco at 52, whatever. You know, if he goes for 20 DK points, he's going to be 5% owned or something silly. So I like Josh Bell. I think that's an interesting way to go. But other than that, I'm not worried about coming back to bite me for the Pirates.
No, I'm definitely not. They're not on this slate. Braves and Phillies next here. Jeremy Hellickson versus Joel De La Cruz. For me, the Braves are priced up way too high for me here. I'm not going to be really looking to get exposure. While I do like Freeman in this matchup, when I can get Goldschmidt for just 200 more, I'm certainly just kind of fading the Braves.
Yeah, easy fade here. I do like some of the lefties, but overall at their prices, it just doesn't add up for me. Obviously, the more value based options in this lineup or in this game are with the Phillies here. I mean, what do we make of the Odubel Herrera and Maikel Franco 2K prices?
So I mean, for me, it almost becomes their locks in for most of my lineups, especially Herrera. I like the 2K price. I mean, you look at De La Cruz. I mean, very average against lefties, against righties. He's even been bad 351 Wobel out. So it's like, even though Franco's been struggling, even though Herrera has been up and down like of late, in this matchup in that ballpark, I'm certainly going to be plugging away quite a bit. And those guys are both cash game playable for the price because you can't fit in cores and pitching with the help of them.
So cash, I think you have to play them basically. As far as the rest goes, though, I mean, I'm going to want to make a few lineups just with the composition being like a base, like regular type of grouping. But majority of my stacks and lineups tonight are going to be with both of them. I just don't. They're going to be chalky, and that's why I said make a few just with regular like composition as you'd go about your business, as if two solid hitters weren't min price. But I mean, at least 75% in tournaments. I just don't see how you can get away, you know?
I don't think they'll be quite that high, but I do think they'll be certainly high. And I think between them two and Pollock at 4K, those three are going to be probably the chalkiest hitters on the slate.
Oh, I'm not saying ownership is going to be that high. I'm saying like your personal share exposure.
Oh, gotcha. 70% of the lineups that you make. Yeah. I'm certainly in agreement. That's going to be how I work things tonight. And outside the rest of that lineup, I don't want anyone else. It's just those two.
No, it just makes it super easy. All set.
Yeah. Orioles and Yankees here next. Dylan Bundy versus Chad Green. Sorry, I'm not paying $5,200 for Nelsbury. I'm not paying $4,600 for Gardner. $5,300 for Sanchez. Safe to say that I'm fading the Yankees.
Set. I mean, you could make a contrarian Gary Sanchez move, but that's all it is as a deep tournament at this stage. I mean, that's a hefty price. So I think I'm out on that, and certainly Ellsbury. That's a Denard Span-ish price.
The ones we hate.
Yeah.
It's not a price I'm looking to use. In terms of the Orioles, I still feel okay about Chris Davis in the GPP. I mean, Chad Green's shown a little bit of weakness against lefties and has been home run prone. So $4,500 there at Baltimore. I'll certainly be playing them, and I know Hyun-Soo Kim is decent value as well.
Yeah, certainly. I like Hyun-Soo Kim at 38, Chris Davis 45 as a tournament guy. Overall, though, they're a little expensive for me. I mean, you can always talk me into Machado at 52. He's solid against righties, but overall, just a tournament lineup to me.
Yep, definitely agree. Blue Jays and Rays next year. Alex Covers, Marcus Stroman. For me here, I mean, the Blue Jays outside of Donaldson are much more reasonable to take a shot on in terms of value. I don't mind them. They're not my favorite team to target tonight, but at the prices, I can see myself tossing in a Bautista or Encarnacion share. I don't see myself really using Donaldson at all. I mean, maybe one lineup, but I'm not a big fan of the Blue Jays here.
No, and I mean, hey, maybe if Herrera and Franco can open up, something crazy there, but overall, 56, that's just extreme. I'd much rather go with Encarnacion or Batista there. That makes the play for me, in my opinion. I don't mind Russell Martin either, or Tulowitzki. I'm fine with grouping that stack, but for once, I mean, I might just stack without Donaldson tonight.
Yeah, I think price considered is just up there, and it's not like Cobb is. I mean, we don't know what we're gonna get from him in terms of being back from the injury, but if he's anything like he has been, he isn't a guy who gives you a ton of upside to either side of the plate.
Right.
So, in terms of the Rays here, I mean, Brad Miller 3,600, I certainly like as a GPP play. I mean, definitely a reasonable price to take a shot with, but outside of that, I mean, I'm not really looking to use Stroman. I'm not a big fan of the Rays offense tonight.
No, I kind of like Stroman in this matchup. Give me Brad Miller at 36. At least, against most righties, he's priced up to like 5K. So 36 for here, I'm cool with, but overall, I don't like the matchup for the Rays. I think that's an easy fade tonight.
Yep, definitely agree. Nationals and Mets next year, Noah Syndergaard versus AJ Cole. And here's where I don't actually mind getting wild with the Nationals. I look at Trey Turner, 3,900. If this guy gets on base, he's going to be stealing for days because Syndergaard cannot hold runners on. He allows a ton of stolen bases. So I might take a shot with the 3,900 Turner there. And even a Murphy or Harper from the left side, I don't mind taking shots with the price. So I'm okay in a GPP sense, actually using a couple Nationals bats as a really contrarian way to get low ownership.
Totally agree. I mean, this is going to be one night where you can actually get Harper at a reasonable, tally. So I like this. As you mentioned, Trey Turner, all he needs to do is get on base, and then he's all set. So I like that. We're not going to talk about the two-hitter there, but overall, I like the 1 through 4.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. In a tournament sense, I think it makes sense, just given the fact that, they have gotten to Syndergaard before, and there was some stolen base upside for those guys.
Certainly.
As far as the Mets go, same thing here. I do like them as kind of a tournament one-off move. I don't mind Cabrera, at 4,200 with how he's been hitting the ball. Granderson, Jay Bruce, Conforto, if Conforto's in the lineup. AJ Cole, I mean, certainly a guy who I don't believe is going to completely shut down. I'm not seeing the big Mets blow up, but I think there is some potential for a couple upside plays.
Yeah, certainly. I like this Mets lineup right now, especially the lefties against righties. So Asdrubal, Cabrera, Granderson, Jay Bruce. Yeah, I like this lineup right now as sort of sneaky values. Don't like the stack tonight, but I do like fitting them in where you can.
Yeah, definitely agree. Cardinals and Reds next year, Anthony DeSclafani versus Alex Reyes. DeSclafani, I mean, takes a lot of the right-handed bats out of play here for me. I wasn't really looking to use them, but 4,500 for Matt Carpenter, 4,400 for Brandon Moss. I mean, DeSclafani, that's his weakness, is lefty bats. So I like those two, and I like those two prices actually a lot.
You could definitely sneak those in a tournament. You don't have to talk me into it. I like it quite a bit. They're reasonably priced against a righty. So, yeah, DeSclafani struggle against lefties. I like this. Cash, no, not quite. But I can dig it in a tournament, and getting decent exposure.
Yeah, Moss for me is GPP only. I don't mind Carpenter in cash games. I think he's a fine option at second base. As far as the Reds go, I don't mind Billy Hamilton still as kind of a GPP play. Adam Duvall a little bit priced up for me here, 4.6. Votto 5.5. Once again with the Goldschmidt being 200 away, it kind of takes a lot of guys over 5K out. I'd rather be spinning down. So I'm not a big fan of the Reds here on DraftKings. I like their prices more, a little bit more on FanDuel.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think again with Goldschmidt there, that's tough. I do like Duvall. I think he's a nice tournament guy overall, though. Meh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as appealing, especially if it's limited to such a small amount of the lineup.
Yeah.
Marlins and Indians next year, Carlos Carrasco versus Andrew Kashner. And sorry, man. I mean, we're back to the near 5K or all 5K over prices in terms of Indians. But great matchup here against Kashner. Really struggles with lefties, 373 WOBA since last year, 1.51 homers per nine. So I do like the Indians bats here.
We have forgiveness in our hearts, Jason, and we forgive DraftKings for their mistakes here. And while they must repent for their sins, we have the Phillies tonight to leverage that for us, so we're okay. Love Carrasco, not touching any Marlins tonight. Yelich, you're all set. If you want to take that gamble, that's on you. I'm not doing it. As far as the Indians, though, I'm fine with stacking them even at their prices. I love Kipnis tonight. Carlos Santana, sure. Lindor, I love those top three there.
Yeah, I definitely do too. I mean, Chisenhall a little bit overpriced for me. Nyquist I might take a shot with at 4,200. But yeah, I'm with you. I do like the matchup here against Cashman. I do like that they're at home. So I'm certainly fine with using this as a stack and even just kind of grabbing one-offs in terms of cash games too.
Yeah.
Astros and Rangers next year, AJ Griffin versus Doug Fister. For me, the Rangers prices are a little bit more reasonable here in terms of Carlos Beltran at 3,600. Great value for me. I mean, Fister does struggle with lefties, 350 WOBA since last year, 1.46 runs per nine. I don't mind Beltran. I don't mind a contrarian renewed the door. I think those guys are decent kind of GPP guys. Beltran's cash value for me here.
Yeah, love Beltran's value here. 36, love it. I think you can take chances on the lefties in this lineup pretty much down the line. If you want to do a 1-3-5 stack, I mean, that's totally fine with me. Overall, again, I mentioned on FanDuel, they're probably not my favorite lineup of the night, but these prices are much more tolerable for me. I can do Mazzara, Beltran, and Odor and feel pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, definitely. Not on the Astros side. I mean, we were both in agreement that the matchup wasn't exactly jumping at us. I mean, there's always still some upside, but it is boom or bust. Springer's price is certainly much more reasonable here, but you're obviously still paying up for Correa and Altuve. And Griffin, I mean, not great against righties, but I mean, it's not bad either. So I'm kind of just looking to maybe fade the Astros tonight.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And kind of the way I've been playing the Astros of late is I'll just take whoever the cheapest one of the top four is, and it's Springer tonight. So, I mean, I just don't want to pay $5,500 for Altuve. That seems a little extreme for me. So Springer's probably the guy I'd take a look at, but other than that, I'm probably not looking at much here.
I definitely agree. White Sox and Twins next year, Kyle Gibson versus Carlos Rodon. Adam Eaton, certainly in play for me at 4K. Outside of that, though, I mean, Jose Abreu, I mean, he's priced up now. I mean, 4,900, it's up there for him. I don't mind him still as a contrarian pivot, but I just feel like when you start to creep into Goldschmidt, it's like I just want to go the extra level.
Yeah, and they made it easy for us to, get some Goldschmidt tonight. So I wouldn't force it. I mean, if you want to be weird in a tournament, I get it. But overall, process leads us to Goldschmidt, I think, especially against Abreu. Eaton, love that price. Think that's cash game viable. I even like Melky at 36. I'm okay with paying up there a little bit. Other than that, though, not too intrigued by the rest of the lineup here.
No, I don't think so either. Not on the Twins side. I mean, Trevor Plouffe, 3,700. Miguel Sano, 3,200 in terms of GPP options. I don't mind. Rodon obviously coming in very hot to this game, but still, as we saw last night, there always is upside with the Twins against lefties. And Brian Dozier, 5.5. The only way I see him kind of working into my lineups is if I'm kind of going that 1-3 stack. I think that's about it. I think those are a little expensive. I like Segura, I like Carpenter at second base, so Kipnis as well. So I might be just kind of looking to go a different route.
Yeah, Dozier's really caused some problems with himself in terms of salary of late, and he's got nobody to blame but himself. So he's 5,500, and I'm not going to roster him. And what does he want me to do? It's like I can only defend him so far, and now he's just taking it to a new level. So, no, Brian, I'm not going to deal with your crap at 5,500.
Oh, he's
No,
really
I mean
tonight.
Still, he's a good play. I mean, if you just look at without price considered, I love that play. I think he's a great contrarian guy, but overall, man, if I'm paying enough for Goldschmidt, it's going to be tough to get Dozier in a lineup as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Tigers and Royals next year, Danny Duffy versus Anibal Sanchez. Duffy's obviously been solid. Has struggled against the Tigers in the past. In this ballpark, it's obviously not a huge place for upside, but I don't mind the Kinsler price at 4-1. I don't mind JD Martinez. Miguel Cabrera would only be 3,700 if he's in the lineup, but outside of that, though, I don't know how much exposure I'm going to have to the Tigers.
Nah, I think this is easy. JD Martinez. I like Kinsler's price here too. But overall, yeah. If Cabrera's in the lineup, that might change things a little bit for me. But overall, I like Kinsler and Martinez, and that's about it.
Yeah, definitely an agreement. I mean, punt option with James McCann, sure, you can give me that too if you want to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Royals go, I mean, Anibal Sanchez is such a wild card. But I mean, obviously, yes, has struggled against both sides of the plate, has really struggled on the road. And even though it is a decent ballpark, I mean, still we've seen him go on the road in good ballparks before and get shelled. So I'm okay with using guys here like an Eric Hosmer for value, Dyson. I don't mind those guys.
Yep, I agree. Kendrys Morales, sure. Again, I think a little mini Royals stack won't kill you tonight. But they're much more. It's really tough to tell. They're more of a deep tournament move, even with their value prices. We just don't know what we're going to get from Sanchez start to start right now. So I think it's a worthy gamble, but you're not like getting full cash game exposure or anything crazy like that. It's more just a deep tournament move.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and that pretty much sums it up. Because I mean, as much as Sanchez isn't being a wild card, same thing with this Royals offense. You never really know. I mean, they just go missing. I mean, at stretches, so that's one thing to also consider. And you nailed it with being just kind of a GPP.
Mm-hmm.
Diamondbacks and Rockies next year. Jorge De La Rosa versus Robbie Ray, two lefties. You and I both love the Diamondbacks and feel they are worth the price pay up. But AJ Pollock 4K has got to be the chalkiest hitter of the night outside of the Phillies, who are chalky as well. But that's going to be one where I don't know how much I can actually fade Pollock here. I don't know if I can.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the decisions, this is a cash night. A lot of the decisions are kind of made for us, with those Phillies bats and Pollock here. So I think the base for my lineup is going to be those two Phillies, Pollock, and then Goldschmidt, if it works. So, I don't know. This seems pretty straightforward to me. Love Gene Segura as well. That is expensive, but I'm okay with it. Again, if you can somehow fit a 1 through 5 stack for the Diamondbacks in there, like I'm cool with that. I'm not going to be mad at you for that.
No, and there's just a ton of upside. I mean, you look at De La Rosa. I mean, obviously he's a guy we picked on before, and just this Diamondbacks lineup in general. I mean, Yasmani Tomas, Weeks, Castillo. I mean, outside those big names there, it's like I can feel comfortable just diving in wherever and kind of locking these guys in. I think they're all cash game playable.
It's like Scrooge McDuck diving into his vault of money, right?
That's what it feels like. Yeah, I mean, they're expensive, but I feel like they're going to be worth that price.
I totally agree. So I think we're on the same page, and I think you'd be well served to be on the same page with us.
Yeah. As far as the Rockies go, I mean, Arenado 5,600, interesting kind of move in that game. Expensive. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to get Franco in there at 2K. You'd have to use Arenado, so you'd have to use Herrera. I don't mind Arenado. He's my favorite one out of the Rockies lineup. Cargo at 3,500, even though he's been struggling, might be worth a look still at that pricing. Coors, even though it is lefty on lefty. For me, it's not cash game viable, but I think GPPs, I might take a shot.
35 is super nice. That's a super nice price. It is a bad matchup, though. So, yeah, tournament viable. Even a Ryan Rayburn. I mean, it's tough to really dive down. I like Robbie Ray, but I mean, if Max Scherzer can blow up, then Robbie Ray certainly can in course. So Ryan Rayburn as well at 31. I'm not going to cross him off either.
No, definitely not. So there are a couple options for the Rockies, but obviously we rank Diamondbacks much higher.
Yes, absolutely.
Red Sox and A's next year, David Price versus Andrew Triggs. For me, Red Sox bats are completely overpriced. I'm not going to be looking to pay Pedroia 4,800 or Bogarts 45. I'm just kind of staying away. Betts is nearing 6K, and that's a little ridiculous for me, even though he's been solid.
Yeah, 5'7". Oh boy. I'm very intrigued who's going to bite on that tonight and how many. It's tough to find a night where you see Ortiz and bats really below 10%, but I really think that's a possibility tonight. I don't know how much exposure I'm going to be getting to them. I don't mind Pedroia, but it is expensive. Bogart, sure. I mean, Jan Moncada is kind of the guy at second, but that's a nice punt play, if anything.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, highly touted prospect. I've obviously been hearing about him for quite a while in terms of being in the Sox system.
Yeah.
I mean, would be a pump play worth looking at here. I mean, he's actually in the system, so you could use him. So he'd be the only guy I'd take a look at. I think it's a nice contrarian move. But yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, 10%, I mean, you might be pushing below 5. I mean, I think they're just way too priced up.
It's super rare, but I can't envision people paying for bets. I mean, unless they're doing a Red Sox stack. But again, that's going to be 5%. You know.
Yeah, it definitely is. And on the A side, they are cheap, and we usually do mention up a couple of names, but I'm not really looking to use them here. I don't think they're going to be the values that I look at.
Nah, I'm all set. So.
Angels and Mariners next year, Ariel Miranda versus Brett Overholtzer. And as far as the A's go, or Angels go, I'm not really looking to pay up for Trout or Pujols here. A little too expensive for me. I'm actually not really looking to use any Angels. Maybe a Jet Bandy at catcher, but that's about it.
The kiss of death right there, Jason.
If Pujols was priced down, I like it more, but not at that price.
That's basically the equivalent of some Italian man coming and kissing you on the forehead and walking out the door. But no, I don't like it either. I don't like it. I'm sorry. You know what? I don't like it. I don't like those prices. I don't want to pay $5,300 for Albert Pujols. Thank you very much. And you can't make me.
No,
I'm gonna play Goldschmidt, and I'm a strong and beautiful woman, and you can't tell me otherwise.
All right, we'll transition over to the Mariners here. I don't mind a couple of righties here. I don't mind Zunino in the GPP. I don't mind Franklin Gutierrez in the GPP. Cruz, if he's in the lineup, is always worth a look versus lefty. But outside of that, I'm certainly fading most of these Mariners bats.
Yeah, and I mean Guillermo Heredia has kind of been up in the lineup and underpriced of late, but I mean, you only want to get so much exposure to that kind of bat. So, yeah, Franklin Gutierrez is really the one guy I'm looking at here. If Cruz is in, sure.
Yeah, that's about it. Padres and Dodgers next year. In terms of trying to find a play in this game, I can't do it. I don't like Seager 5K. I liked him on FanDuel because his price was actually down, so it was fine with that. But I just can't get behind these bats. I'm just going to probably be fading this game in general, especially on the Padres side.
What about Segden at 29?
Will I need him? That's the question. I don't think I'm going to.
Right, probably not. Yeah, no, I agree there. You'd certainly be forcing it, trying to get exposure to this game, but I mean, I'm not crossing Howie Kendrick off the list. It's just not. It doesn't make you feel good to throw Howie Kendrick in there ever, really.
No, especially at a pretty stacked second base option too.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, overall that game's not really that appealing.
No, and I kind of like Urias tonight. So we've seen what the Padres have done in the second half, in the post Matt Kemp era.
Yeah, it's not been pretty. So.
No.
That's going to wrap things up with the DraftKings Daily Trot. Be sure to check out DailyFantasyCafe.com for all great tools and content.